Now we're going to have a look at the French press review. Florence is with us here on set. And Le Monde, they've got an unusual pick for Person of the Year 2012. Is it you?
That's right. It's not me, unfortunately. Maybe next year. But their criteria, actually, I wouldn't want to be part of because their criteria are cynicism and cruelty. And they've chosen Bashar al-Assad as their Person of the Year 2012. Okay. Yeah. There's a shocking portrait in Le Monde, which says that a year ago, people wondered if he was going to be able to beat his dad, Hafez, who had killed between 10,000 and 20,000 people after an uprising in 1982. But according to Le Monde, Bashar's record is hard to believe. 40,000 people are dead after a 19-month uprising, and it's far from over. According to Le Monde, even if he probably won't live through 2013, that's what Le Monde says, he'll be remembered for a long time, remembered as being the biggest mass murder of the beginning of the 21st century. They say that the only question now is whether he'll die in his country or whether he'll escape.
Okay, yeah, controversial choice if it is him anyway. Another interesting article in Le Monde, this time about the situation in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo.
That's right. Le Monde says that in the Kivu province, women are raped and people are killed in silence. And what's interesting about this piece is it's written by a collective of people, including former President Jacques Chirac and the partner of the current president of François Hollande, Valérie Trierweiler. And they say that the Kivu province is one of the most beautiful places in the world, but in a way it's cursed by its richness. The soil there is very rich in minerals and oil, and because of that, mercenaries have depleted the area, and civilians are the ones who suffer. And it says that though there's a UN peacekeeping force that's been there since 1999, some 17,000 blue helmets, they're not fulfilling their mission, and this collective says that it's time for the international community to remind the UN what their mission is so that they can carry it out.
Okay, Florence is going to come to a story here in France now. Le Parisien aujourd'hui en France, looking at the far-right National Front Party's voting strategy for the next municipal election.
That's right. Here it is on Le Parisien aujourd'hui en France, when the National Front recruits within trade unions. And according to aujourd'hui en France, Le Parisien, the idea is to beef up support for the FN, the National Front, ahead of the 2014 municipal elections. Now, this is traditionally a group of people who vote against the National Front, but this is Marine Le Pen, the leader of the National Front strategy. And there's a photo in Le Parisien of Marine Le Pen campaigning. And it says it takes a closer look and looks at people who have joined these trade unions who are part of the Front National and just how they're trying to spread their ideas. And they say that it could be trade unions and the working class that tips the balance in the next municipal elections. And sticking to the Front National, there's an interesting piece in Libération, the left-leaning newspaper, about ripple effects of the Front National on the current government, the current socialist government. And it says that you have to go way back to 2002, the 21st of April to be precise, when Marine Le Pen's father, Jean-Marie Le Pen, beat the socialist candidate, Lionel Jospin, and made it to the second round, where he was neck and neck, with Jacques Chirac. Jacques Chirac won that election. And this sparked outrage among young voters. Many of those voters are in power today, and they say that they've learned their lessons from the past, and they don't want to repeat the same mistakes that members of the Socialist Party made back in 2002. And there are three mistakes they don't want to repeat. That first one is to ignore the threat of the Front National, the National Front. The second one is to shun the working class vote that we were just talking about in Le Parisien aujourd'hui en France. And the third is to refrain from criticizing the government. And according to Libération, this perhaps can explain the impression that the current government is putting off, that not all the ministers are on the same page, that there's this kind of cacophony of this noise within the party.
Okay. And the communist newspaper L'Humanité, they're taking a closer look at the unrest in Mali.
That's right. It's on the cover of L'Humanité today. It says horror in the north of Mali. Now, they go and interview people who have fled the north of Mali to Niger, and they say that the Islamists in northern Mali have put this reign of terror in northern Mali. And Le Figaro has an interesting article that points out that the French Defense Minister, Jean-Yves Le Drian, is calling for a rapid intervention. And it points out that though this would be an African mission, unlike it was previously reported, it could be led by a French general.
France, thank you very much. That's Florence Villeneuve with today's French newspapers here on France 24.